So we're just gonna have a little chat, I guess you could say, because I've been really weird about this game recently. So like I've been pretty inactive, not just on YouTube. Like I'm on pretty much the same upload schedule that I've always been on. But for RuneScape, have you guys ever gone through like those streaks where you just don't want to log in, and then you do log in eventually, and you have like a great time, but then like you just log off for like another week? Because that's pretty much what I'm going through right now. Like I logged in last week actually, and this is kind of funny. Like props to whoever made this up. But in my clan chat, I go into Free World 65cc. Hey, plug my clan chat right there. But I enter that, and there's the regulars that are in there and everything, and they're like, "Oh my god, Ian, you're back!" And everybody's like freaking out for some reason, and I'm wondering like what's going on. And then they proceeded to tell me that somebody made up a rumor that I like died in a car crash or something like that, just because I hadn't been on in a couple days. So to everybody that heard that and then like heard nothing from me afterwards, I'm happy to say that I'm alive, I'm breathing. I just didn't feel like playing RuneScape for a little while. It's really weird because like I was talking to some friends about this, and so I was making the account and everything, and I was having a great time doing that, and I was playing every day and all that stuff, and then like I finished the account basically, and then I just didn't play, and I don't even know why, man. Like I don't know. I'm 95 combat right now, and I said this before, but like it's still happening where I'll log in and I'll go like 3 days of not finding a single hybrid at my level, and I don't want to edge PK because like I don't really like edge PKing, I guess. And then then I'll log in the next day, and there'll be like 17 fucking Zerkers at Edgeville Bank, and they're all getting 40-40 because you already know I'm about to hit that. But realistically, I'm not hitting shit because I'm 60 attack. So I'm actually I just thought about this right now. I've been getting asked a lot about what I think about my account build and stuff because these 60 attack, 70 defense with Piety pures, as I'm going to keep on calling them, are becoming I was going to say rather, but then I was going to say relatively, so I said relatively popular. And I just kind of like want to get out there and tell you guys like the benefits about them, the pros, the cons, all that kind of stuff. And then because this is my channel, I'm just going to throw in random tidbits of information that I feel like is relevant, but it's really not relevant at all, but you guys are going to listen to it anyway because you're already this far into the video. So for starters, this is going to be a little rough because I have been like I said, I've been inactive for like 3 weeks to a month or so, so I'm already kind of rusty, like only playing once a week or so for the most part, or only PKing once a week for the most part. Still gotta log in every day and buy my herb boxes for some reason. I don't know, gotta get that 100k. But anyway, recently I bought a Razer Death Adder just because I wanted to try it. A lot of people were talking about this mouse and everything. I hated it, but I used it for a little while. Went back to my Zowie FK1 because that's the best mouse ever, but I still adjusted some mouse settings, so I'm going to be just clicking all over the place. Like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. The other day, I was sessioning this Zerker, and like, I recognized, like, he pulled out a DDS, and I was like, hey, look, that's a DDS. I'm low HP, out of food, in robes. Better run up next to him and get specced out. I don't know what the fuck is going on. But, aside from every salty-ass Edgeville hybrid, who cares if you die in a video? But for people wondering about the build, if there were more active hybrids at this combat level in this bracket that weren't just like doing NHing and all that stuff, I would easily say that this is probably one of my favorite builds. And for the whole overhead thing, like I'm not even against it. Like I do enjoy that. It's just that my account is 75 ranged, and I don't want to, like, I've got, like I said before, I have 50k chin sitting in the bank with like full armor and all that shit just ready to be used, but I don't want to get all those HP levels yet, so I'm not doing that. So I'm still just kicking it at 75 range, not using overheads. But if you're in the same situation as me where you're around like 90 combat to, I'd say, like 105 or something, and you're a Zerker, or the build that I am currently working on right now, the 60 attack, 70 defense pot, you know what I'm talking about. If you're one of those builds and you are struggling getting fights, try joining Zerk Brid CC. It was started by a Zerker, Sam, you guys know him. And so essentially what you do is you just go in there and ask for fights, and people will be just hanging out waiting. It's a little bit easier than sitting in Edgeville Bank for a week straight trying to find a fight. Only thing I gotta say about that though is that just realize that that's intended for Zerkers, but a lot of people won't mind if you're around that combat level and you do have 70 defense. Just don't roll up with like absolute max and expect them with 60 attack without Piety to want to fight you. So just make them aware if you are the same build as me before you go into a sesh with them. And Sam made a full video about that on his channel, so you can go and check that out, but I'll also just leave in the description. But yeah, the best part about the build and the worst part about the build is the specs, because you will go a week straight of just like trying to spec people on Mystic, hitting 0-0s constantly, and then like out of nowhere somebody will be in tank, you'll whip out your DDS, you'll pop them for like a 75 damage DDS spec, and then you'll be like, what the fuck just happened? Like, I've been trying to hit that for like a week straight. And so like it's the weirdest thing ever. I feel like it's actually great for hybriding if you do get fights, if you're like versing Zerkers and all that stuff. But for Edgeville PKing, like I haven't really done much of that, but if you're a big edge PKer and all that stuff, I wouldn't necessarily recommend this to you because you're basically just fighting people on straight tank and you're not going to hit anything with a D-skim. And if you feel like staying in the same combat bracket as me by keeping your HP low and you actually have the patience to do some cannoning to get your range up, like, pures will fucking hate you. I'll tell you that right now. You'll roll up to Varrock and they'll hit you, and then they'll realize you're tri-birding and you have like 90 something range, 90 something mage, and 90 something strength, and you're like 95 combat with Piety. Like, they will fucking hate you. Like, you guys know Shawnee, right? Like, we hate him, but he does this thing. I gotta give him credit for this. Like, he does this thing where he rolls up to Varrock's Swear. Like, he won't even be hybriding. A pure with overheads will get on him, and like magically he will fake them out or some shit and get them to change their prayers. I don't know why they do it. And then like he'll just pull a 40-40 out of his ass. And for the most part, YouTubers that make videos with these builds, you see like all the cool specs they hit and all that stuff, but you don't see how long it takes to get those specs. And then I actually can't believe I forgot about it up to this point, but claws. Everybody's wondering about claws. Like, are you using claws? Do you have claws? Or what's going on with those? Claws are the biggest fucking curveball that have ever been introduced to this game. And don't get me wrong, like, claws are a blast to use. Like, they're so much fun to use, but they were introduced to the game, and I think that the first YouTuber that I saw with them was Big Bicep. He bought them for, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was like 620, 650 mil or something like that. But it's a new item, so obviously it's gonna crash. And so he bought them for a 600 something mil, and then like at one point they dropped low enough where people were getting them for like 190, and then they just randomly shot back up to like 350. I don't know what the fuck is going on with them. I had like a week ago, I kept on consistently like buying 3 pairs, and then I would flip them for like 20 mil profit each, and so that was going really well for me, and I'd PK with them in between every once in a while and stuff, but I haven't really used them that much, I guess. So you're gonna have to get some other YouTuber with this build to give their insight on claws, but for the most part, I am like the king of red bars with basically DDS, claws, everything. Like, I'm a man of almosts. Like, I don't know how many clips I have of kills and everything from this build, but I know that I have at least twice the amount of red bars and shit like that, just because like I don't know if it's my account, if it's the fact I'm 60 attack or what, but like they're 20 HP, I whip out claws, I hit a 0. They're 30 HP in Mystic, I whip out DDS, I hit 0s. But then like out of nowhere, you know, it makes me it makes me look like I'm just desperately throwing my specs wherever, because like I just randomly get hits on tank, but then when it comes to Mystics, like I don't hit anything. So I don't know, maybe if you are an edge PKer, you should make one of these builds. I have This video is just me consistently contradicting myself and not knowing what the fuck is going on. Oh, and something I forgot to mention. I don't know why, but I am addicted to Dragon Warhammers on this account. And it doesn't add up. Like, they never hit. They don't hit very high. And, like, it's stupid that they're the price that they are for what they provide to PvPing. But for some reason, I just feel the need to keep on attempting to hit something with this fucking Warhammer. Maybe it's the animation. It just looks cool. I don't know why I love it so much. Anyway, this is getting a little long, so hopefully I have all the clips that I can use for it. Like always, whenever I'm online, I'm typically in my clan chat, so freeworld65cc. I will leave that in the description if you want to join and come hang out with us. Go ahead and in the comments just leave me a little response as to what you think I should do with this build, because like I said earlier, I don't know if I want to get range and HP, if I want to get 75 attack, if I want to stay at this combat level. I don't fucking know, guys. My life is in shambles. I'm going to end this right now.